so I dunked on it. I popped the laid on that couch, and then I sunk on it. Swerving and lane, drunk on it. Ballin', thought they ain't dunk on it, dunk on it, dunk.
Hey, that was a good game versus Northwestern. Got bowl eligible. 6-2. First time since 2001 they've been bowl eligible this early in the season. Sky's the limit now. Let's see if they can win this, be 10-2. They would probably get in the Orange Bowl or something if they won every game out. But realistically, it looks like they're going to like the Duke's Mayo Bowl in Charlotte. But what about Billy Edwards, man? He did a good job. He protected the ball very well. That's what he needed to come out and do. He didn't need to go out and be flashy because Roman Hemby came out, ran 179 yards. It was a good game. It was a good game to see when Talia's out. Other guys can step up and win the game for Maryland. And Antoine Littleton, he tweaked his ankle in warm-ups before the game, Coach Locke said. Hopefully he's doing good. I saw him after the game. He walked off the field though, so I don't think he'll be out. They said he was good for the game, but since Roman Hemby was doing good, they just rode the hot hand. So I expect him to be back against Wisconsin. We need him out there. It's probably going to be cold, so they're going to need there's going to be some ground and pound out there. But man, they didn't score in the first drive this game though. First time all season they had the longest streak in FBS. But they came out, they did 3 and out right off the bat. I expected it though. It was going to come eventually. At least it happened with Billy Edwards Jr. in there. So, maybe Talia comes back in next week and just keeps on riding that streak he was on. But I think since Maryland's now 6-2, I think they should just go all in at this point. I think they are all in, like they say they're all in. But let's see it really. Let's just get crazy with it. Let's see Talia throw the ball 50 times next game, go for 400 yards, get Dante Demas in the end zone twice. Let's just get everybody to rock. Let's put up 5 touchdowns on Wisconsin. Let's prove that Maryland deserves to be respected in the Big Ten. I saw an article by 247 Sports about the Big Ten changing the conference alignment, and that's actually been a big interest of mine too. I want to talk to Coach Locke. I'll probably ask him at the presser tomorrow, if it's not asked, about what he thinks on the conference potentially realigning and how that alignment, how he would think. I think it would give the Terps a better chance to compete in the conference, because right now they have 2 losses in the conference, and they're in the division with Penn State with 1 loss, Michigan with 0 losses, Ohio State with 0 losses, and there's 4 games left, 5 games left for some of these teams. I think it's just 4 games, 5 games left, and it doesn't seem like the odds are stacked at all for Maryland to have a chance at the division, and it sucks to be out so early in the season. Maybe with this new conference realignment, they give a team like Maryland, who lost 2 games early, if they go on a hot streak and win the rest of the way out, they could be the second best team in the conference with 2 losses and play for a conference championship. But now there could be a scenario where a 2-loss team in the Western Division, which the West Division in the Big Ten right now looks pretty crappy besides Illinois, and Illinois lost to Indiana, so they're not that. Maryland obviously could beat Illinois, I think. So there's just too many points there to maybe change the way the conference is, so it isn't so top heavy. But back to the game, the game started off really slow. There was no scoring for a bit. Finally, Northwestern found the end zone with 3 minutes left in the first quarter. Terps responded right away, though. Got the game knotted back up. Roman Hemby had that 14-yard touchdown. I was right there when he scored that one. It was pretty cool. Then the Northwestern went on a little 10-point run with the field goal and then another touchdown. But Chad Ryland hit a 20-yard field goal right before the half. And then Maryland needed a turnover to start the first. We kicked the ball off to start the second half. Dante Trader, he got that interception. That's exactly what Maryland needed to get the tempo back flowing Maryland's way. They turned that into another Roman Himby rush. And then right after that, Rakim Jarrett, he caught a 30-yard pass. The game was it felt like Maryland was going to run away with it right there. They went on a 17-0 run, and you're like, oh yeah, we got this game. And then the game just slowed down. There was nothing going on forever. Northwestern tied it back up with 3 minutes, kicked the ball up, but hero of the game, Robin Hemby, broke off a 75-yard rush, took it to the house right away, and then that was basically game. Nothing else happened. This game was kind of slow because Billy Edwards, you could tell he doesn't have the system down as good as Talia does. But he looks like he's got a lot of upside, and he plays with a lot of poise for a guy who hasn't started. And with a bowl eligibility on the line, that's probably a lot of pressure, so he played pretty good. Billy Edwards seemed to have happy feet in the first quarter. Seemed like he would do his first read and then give up a lot of time and just take off. But in the second half, he really settled down. It seemed like he went through his several options. He would read the coverage and he made good reads. There were some drops too where he probably could have had a touchdown, like when Rakim Jarrett dropped that one in the end zone, but it was a hard catch. I mean, he hit the ground really hard. But they still scored a rushing touchdown there, so that all worked out at the end. But also shout out Bo Braid, he had a pick. The defense played really solid. They let up 24 points, but it was a really hard fought. They really earned those points, Northwestern, and I thought Maryland played really good for having a backup QB, put up 31 points, and it's looking pretty good. I think if you're a Maryland fan, you should have confidence of them pulling up the Penn State and beating them. And then if Maryland beats Penn State, what about Ohio State? If Maryland wins out, do you think it would be fair for them to go to the college football playoff? I think it would. They probably wouldn't make it though. And the Big Ten refs, I have even been giving them a lot of hate. But this week, I thought they did a little better. And when I was on the field, I noticed something. It seems every play, I know they always say every play's got a penalty on it. It seemed like every play of this game had a penalty I wanted to throw the flag at if I had a flag. But at the same time, that would have made the game so slow. I feel like these refs, they see these penalties and they just know they're not important to the game sometimes. It didn't really make that big of a difference. So they let it go. They're like, you know what? This guy's been breaking the rules all game. I'm going to let him slide. This guy slide one time with breaking the rules. And I don't feel like that is right. But if you want the game not to be 6 hours long, maybe we should stop complaining and maybe we should just let it slide. I'm not going to break down the keys for going into the Wisconsin game because it's a bye week this weekend. But I am going to go into, I do think the Terps really needed this bye week. Players are banged up all over the field. I think it's well-needed rest. I think they'll get what they need, and we'll see a strong finish of the season. If the Terps just finish 2-2, that's a win. Anything less, I'll be a little disappointed. But I think that is a very reasonable goal to have. Beat Rutgers, beat Wisconsin, be competitive against Ohio State, and please, please, please beat Penn State. This is Nicholas Billings, Terp Talk Tuesday, DMV Sports and News, and I'm out.